in any case in the last few months to actually face up to the pandemic and learn to adapt and change in the face of this unprecedented challenge. So many of you, or most of you, if not all of you, are health workers, have been on the front lines in one way or another, or have colleagues who are. So before we go any further, I'd like to offer a round of applause and ask you to do the same. Even if you're sitting in front, alone in front of your computer screen, please bring your hands together to recognize the work and the done by health workers on the front lines. Thank you. So first of all, we have, if you'd like to share your messages and make sure that everyone can see them in the room, choose the option, all panelists and attendees, or else only the panel will see your messages, and we want everybody to see them. We want you to be able to share with everybody. Second, if you have specific questions, and you're likely to, such as how do I join my country group? The answer is you have to follow the instructions to get to the Learning.Foundation website, and there you'll find a list of country groups and Telegram groups. But if you have any other questions, please use the Q&A to share them. And if you haven't yet told us where you're connecting from, please go into the chat and type in the city and country that you are from. Now, this is a initial presentation. This is from the announcement of the COVID-19 Scholar Peer Hub. This is what brings us together. Let's get down to business. So first of all, here are the dates for the schedule of Exercise 1. So let me get myself out of the way. And here you can see that we have a very busy schedule. This week and next week are entirely dedicated to the Ideas Engine. So what is the Ideas Engine? How does it work? You may have gotten a taster of it, but Ian Steed will be telling us more about it and explaining the specifics. There are some tasks that you'll be starting on tomorrow with a deadline of Friday to share your first experience or idea in the Ideas Engine and to begin to explore some of the benefits of this unique approach to sharing knowledge, sharing experience between immunization practitioners. After the Ideas Engine, we'll be going into the exercise proper, which is to develop a plan of action. There's no other word for it. Yes, basically what you are going to do to carry out what your Ministry of Health or your employer or your boss simply are asking you to get done in order to adapt to the. So that will be the following 4 weeks. We'll be focusing on that. Now, we are offering certification through the Geneva Learning Foundation, and you can see the requirements for Peer Hub Exercise 1. And through continued participation in the Peer Hub, you'll be able to earn more than one certificate, and certificates showing which components of the Peer Hub you have actually completed. Now, submitting, there is a single condition which is required to stay in the Peer Hub. So you'll be able to pick and choose. It's not like one of the scholar courses, for those of you who are familiar with that, where we have mandatory requirements for this and that. There's only one condition to stay in the Peer Hub, and that periodically, probably every 2 weeks, we'll ask you to complete a Peer Hub report. That should take you less than 10 minutes to complete. If you don't complete that report, that means you are opting out of the Peer Hub. So that is the one thing we will ask you. If you decide, for example, not to participate in something because you don't have time, because it's just not working for you, that is fine for that one component. But the Peer Hub report, you will stop receiving the messages if you do not submit that report. Now, you're going to be, this week, a lot of this week is about discovering the different platforms and how you are actually going to find your way around the Peer Hub. So where everything happens, there's only one address that you absolutely need, and that's Learning.Foundation. Then these are actually not in the right order. I would say it's Telegram next, which many of you are already on. Then the Ideas Engine, which is what we're going to be focusing on this week, and Zoom, of course, which we're using for these sessions. Now, let me go to show you, just to recap. Here, for those of you who are here, these are the steps you have already worked through, or else you wouldn't have made it. For those of you who are watching the recording who are not in attendance today, I'm going to quickly run through what you should have done by this point. And it can be confusing because there's a lot of details. If you skip a little one step, you might find yourself all of a sudden cut out of a really important part of the Peer Hub, and we don't want that to happen. So I'll be explaining to you. We have our, what I call our secret weapon to help you, which is actually it's not a weapon's not the right word, but I'll be introducing you to Dr. Alain Blaise very soon and explain how he and other experienced scholars will be able to help you. What the message you need to look for is a letter of acceptance. If you can find that, you're good to go. There's a button here that says confirm and join Telegram. You need to click on that button and that will trigger everything else. Until you click that button, you're not going to receive the information to access the Peer Hub. So it starts with the Telegram app. I'm going to cancel here, but you will allow and join the group. This is the that was a French. Here is the English Telegram group. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm looking at this on my computer. You'll be looking at this probably on your phone. That's what I usually do too. So this is, right now, this has 842 members. There'll probably be double that by the time we finished enrollment. And so to keep up with that, Alain Blaise is going to be sharing his secrets and his tips on how you can manage the flow of information and how you can make good use of it. Last but not least, once you have received the login information, then you go to the login of the Learning Foundation website. You sign in. If for some reason you cannot find the password that was given to you in the message granting you access, so if you're a Teach to Reach scholar, use your previous password and email, they're the same. You click on Forgot Password if you need to recover your password. No need to send us messages about that. You can do that yourself, or you should be able to. Second, you sign in, and that will take you to My Scholar, which is where you see all the programs that you have. The one you want, of course, is a Scholar Peer Hub Exercise 1. So you click on Open or tap on Open Now. And here you can see, for example, how to get started. Has a welcome message from me, and then 5 steps, and an additional 3 steps, 3 specific things, activities that you want to get done now, all right? And then we've already shared, we'll be sharing more tomorrow, is the first couple of updates about the Ideas Engine Week 1. So this is where you absolutely need to go. If you haven't been here yet, look for that login message to get you to learning.foundation, or ask for help on Telegram, or starting tomorrow from Dr. Tatsinku. So that's the basics of the different platforms that you need to use right now after this session and throughout the rest of this week. The focus will be on learning.foundation, the Ideas Engine, and Telegram, and then Zoom for the live sessions, of course. So that may not be entirely clear, and if it's not, that's okay for now, all right? We're going to be there to support you every step of the way. As long as you're willing to make the effort, you will get support and be able to make progress. So question 1, have you joined the Telegram group for the Peer Hub? And then second, have you joined your country group on Telegram and Skype? Now, let me tell you a secret. Until you have been through the activities here, you will not be able to join your country group on Telegram and Skype, because the list of links to find in which you will find your country's Telegram and Skype links is on learning.foundation. So that's an example of why and how the learning.foundation website is basically where everything is going to happen. So Rizwan Asgar says, I've joined the Telegram Peer Hub. But Rizwan, have you joined the country group for your country? And I don't know your specific country, but whatever it may be, your country has its own group where you can discuss with country colleagues. And that is what we're talking about, in addition to going through that initial step where you confirmed and joined Telegram. This may seem, if this seems overly complicated, that's just the nature of digital technology. This is how it works. Going through these hoops is more complicated than just coming into a room. But even if you have a meeting room somewhere and you don't know where the room is, you have to look for it. So that's basically the same thing. That's a key activity this week that you want to get done. So how are you going to get support? So first of all, most of you have taken a course delivered mostly or fully online before. But as we've said, this is not a course. This is different. We're not going to be asking you to do homework or to work on theoretical issues or to study a guideline. We're going to be asking you to focus on what your Ministry of Health or your employer or your boss has asked you to do with respect to the pandemic and maintaining immunization services. Focus on that and then use the Peer Hub as a resource, as a tool to connect with knowledge, with peers in ways that are going to help you do better, hopefully, and to go faster because we need to. Very pleased to introduce the Scholar team. So you can see some of the amazing individuals that you'll be getting to know in the coming days and weeks. So this is the team from the Geneva Learning Foundation that actually sets up and runs experiences like this one. And very pleased also to introduce you to your new, also in a way, a colleague, an agent, which is a form that will let you connect with the Geneva Learning Foundation team anytime you need support. What do I mean by that? Let me just demonstrate what this form does and how it works. So let me go to the, so when you have something to share, and you'll find this link inside learning.foundation, give us your email address, all right? I'm not going to fill in the forms, but obviously tell us if you want to submit a question or solve a problem with the tools of the technology. Tell us what problem you're trying to solve exactly. And then tell us, describe, the more you can tell us about the problem, the sooner it is likely to get solved. Tell us what you've already done to solve this problem. Don't use this frivolously. We look at each request, and if it's something you can take take a minute and figure out, please, consider people who are really struggling and that really need support that we try to prioritize, and we ask for your help in that regard. And then we have technical support sessions. I'm going to say a little bit more about that. So I haven't yet introduced any of my colleagues. That's for the sake of time, but the time has come to introduce, let's call him Dr. Scholar, who is Alain Blaise Tatsinku. Alain?
Good afternoon or good evening, everyone, depending where you're connecting. I will start to say congratulations. If you're here, then you found your way through some tools. For all scholars, welcome aboard. So we are really excited to start the adventure. I know we seem to be like happy, but we are not, because we are talking about COVID-19 that is affecting us. And we may be happy because we are finding a way to contribute to support our immunization program to tackle challenges. So like Reda said, one of the characteristic of the scholar community is helping each other, is walking the extra mile together till the end. That is why you see here the daily technical support session, because it's our concern here in the team. We are doing that for you, with you, and we cannot do that without you. That's why from tomorrow morning, 11 p.m. Geneva time, we will take some time to walk you through all the tools, all the platform of the P Hub. The reason is that we really want you to make the most use of what you have, because we want the tool to be helpful for you in your daily work. So like Reda said, together with what we call alumni, scholar alumni, we did it last year for the T2 Reach, and it was quite successful. If you have some time, it's not mandatory, but you can join us. You will receive the link through Zoom in your email. Please pay attention of that and just connect and come with us. Even though if you don't have any issue to join in the platform, you are welcome, because why? Like I said, we work together as a team to tackle the COVID-19, and that is in everything we do every day. So thank you, Reda. I will say that much, but I'm expecting to see everyone tomorrow. And
let's get specific, Alain. If I'm having trouble with Telegram, or I can't figure out how to get into learning.foundation, or I don't understand how this all works, can I join and get help from you and others? Is that what this session is about?
Definitely, yes, Reda.
Okay,
that's exactly what it is.
All right, so, and this is every day? Are you really doing this kind of support every day from Tuesday to Friday?
We will do that from Tuesday to Friday, and feel free to join any of the session that you feel, if you have some time, according to our professional busy schedule. So we are doing that because if you have time, then you just connect. If you don't have time, please don't mind. We will do that till the end of the P Hub. So we really encourage you to join each of the session. Whenever the issue, technical issue, we will walk through together easily.
Right, for Subhadip Bunya, who says how to join India group. So yes, you say you're not finding the link in learning.foundation. You'll have to go through each of the posts, and one of them is going to be about joining your country group on Telegram and Skype. And it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to how this works, but once you do, you will be like fish in water. And for Subhadip, if you still can't find the India group by tomorrow, join Alain's session, and he'll be happy to help you. Now, the second kind of need is, yes.
So can we also really emphasize on the alumni, like Alimato Road? Most of them are in the room here, Dr. Sadaf. All the alumni from the scholar community are really welcome, because I know that they are very helpful. They are very supportive when it comes to help scholar in their with their challenges. I think it will be wonderful sessions. So looking forward to see all the alumni tomorrow morning.
Great, very happy to hear that, Alain. So we asked you, do you need support to use the advice on COVID-19 and immunization? So advice and plans from the Ministry of Health or from global partners like the World Health Organization, and most of you said yes. And so alongside the technical support with Alain is to help you make sense of how the Peer Hub works and how to make the best use of it. The daily lightning sessions are also Tuesday to Friday, and they are with Francois Gasse and Charlotte Mbuh. And I'm going to ask both of them to introduce themselves and tell us what are these lightning sessions about. Let's start with Francois and then Charlotte.
Good afternoon, Reda and everybody in the session today, wherever they are, what time ever it is. I am very happy to be part of this experience and these lightning sessions. In fact, what the objective of the sessions are really to share experience and discuss those activities that you're taking to address an issue that the world is facing and I've never faced before in my life, in spite of my Mbuh experience immunization. So I'm going to learn a lot of your ideas. I think our really role with Charlotte and I is going to facilitate the session by making sure that your idea, your experience are extremely clear for everybody listening, and they will know what you have done, how you have done it, how you made it occur, what are the hurdles you face in a very practical way. So I feel more like a facilitator than really any other thing. So I'm looking forward to your ideas and their specificities and how you get some success from your experience. So I'm looking forward to start tomorrow, these lightning sessions.
Great, Francois. And it sounds like you're having connection issues, which we will all have at some point. Charlotte, how is your connection today? How are you doing? And what can you tell us more about what we can expect? Why is it worth spending 30 minutes every day at 6 p.m. Geneva? So that could be in the evening, depending, or it could be in the afternoon, depending on the time zones. But it's 6 p.m. Geneva. What can scholars expect if they join this session, this lightning session?
All right, thank you, Reda. Greetings to everyone. I am Charlotte Mbuh, part of the Scholar team. These sessions are going to be quick lightning sessions in which you get to, many of you have been writing to the Scholar team saying you have your story, you want to share your experiences, you want to share your ideas. Now you have the opportunity every Tuesday to Friday, 6 p.m. Geneva time, to come and tell us what you're going through, how you are facing the COVID-19 situation and carry out your immunization services. Also, being able to get encouragement where you listen to the experiences of others. It will also be an opportunity because we are in the context of COVID-19 and there's a lot of struggle, there are lots of challenges, but a lot of people still say they are able to carry out their immunization services. Now these sessions will be offering them the opportunity to say concretely, how are they able to continue with immunization services in spite of all this. So if you join, you'll be coming to learn that you are not alone in your situation. Others are facing the same challenges you're facing, and they are able to do one thing or the other to pull through. So the last thing I just want to say, even though they are optional, it will be very important to take part. Even twice or thrice a week, I think it will be very useful, and you enjoy the rich experience that Francois Gasse has as far as immunization is concerned. Thank you, Reda. Over.
Thanks, Charlotte. And let me be clear about what we mean by optional. And I'm actually going to share one of the secrets from previous I'm actually going to share one of the secrets from previous experiences like this, and specifically the Scholar courses, which is that participants who attend, not all, but some of these daily sessions, the support and then the support on the content and the activities, have around 80% of them will finish, will actually succeed in the in this journey. For people who do not join these daily sessions, some people simply don't need them, and so they just go ahead and proceed. And you can find everything you need on Learning.Foundation. But definitely, if you're feeling kind of lost, if you're not sure how to proceed, be there tomorrow in the morning, Geneva time, so 10:30 a.m. Geneva, or 10. Let me just make sure I'm not giving the wrong time here. So 11 a.m. Geneva time. And if you don't know Geneva time, just ask Google. So type it into Google, it'll give you your local time. And then 6 p.m. every day from Tuesday to Friday. That's an extremely effective way of making sure you keep up with everything that we're doing in the Peer Hub. And then you can pick and choose what you want to actually do that will really help you with respect to what your boss, your employer, or your Ministry of Health, or some combination of those three is actually asking you to do. Now, what underpins what we are doing is a pledge to achieve impact. And this was developed for the what we call the Impact Accelerator that was run last year, and is actually, if you were to try to do something like this without 4 years of immunization professionals getting to know each other, collaborating in various ways through courses, through other activities, I don't think it could be copied or replicated. We're really building on something that was started 4 years ago, and something that is not only going strong, but that keeps getting stronger. The number of applications received for the Peer Hub was almost twice that of the number of applications received for the Teach to Reach program that preceded it. So there is something very important and very valuable, that we really want to take care of. And this is why we ask you to sign a number of commitments, to not only accept them, but really commit to them. One of them is a commitment to confidentiality. The commitment to progress in the fight against COVID-19 is another. And your commitment during the pandemic. So if you disagree with any of these statements, for example, if you don't think that vaccines save lives, or you have doubts about that, we'll ask you to leave the Peer Hub. This is not the place to discuss or debate such issues. We believe vaccines save lives, and if you do not believe that, or if you're not sure of it, your place is not in the Peer Hub. The same applies to all of these other statements, so please review them carefully. We know as you were going through the application very quickly, you probably just checked accept, but we need you to take the time to read them and make sure you understand what is being said and why. Now, before we go further, I want to give you a sense of who we are as a group. We've had an amazing number of applicants, and not everyone has been accepted. So the quality of your application and the support from your manager were both two key considerations. Charlotte, I'm going to ask her because I don't have the numbers in mind, and I know that she does. How many people have actually applied for English and French, and what's the total number of applicants?
Reda, we have 2,717 English applicants and 2,066 French applicants, giving us a total of 4,783. I just wanted to say that is it's about 945 over what we had for Teach to Reach.
Okay, so it's not double, but it's still significant improvement.
Significantly, yeah.
Thanks, Charlotte. All right, so here you should now be able to see the map. Now the colors are all pretty much the same shade, unfortunately, but you should see, so the darker the shade, the more applicants from that country. So let me zoom in on the African continent, and you can see the numbers with the greatest of applicants are the ones with the darkest shades. I hope everyone is able to see that. We'll share a better version, and we're going to share the slide deck with you. So if you can't see it right now, that should be don't despair. And then for Asia, you can see here Again, the darkest shades are the countries with the greatest number of applicants. The picture, the proportions do not change between applicants and selected participants, but not everyone was accepted. In fact, a fairly significant number of people did not meet the criteria we had set. Now, this is the slide many of you will pay a lot of attention to, and this is the 96 countries from the English that are English language and in alphabetical order. You can see here now there's a few francophones who submitted their applications in the English, and then here you can see that the largest group by far is the group from Nigeria with 1,171 applicants. Next is the group from Ghana, India, Kenya, Pakistan, Cameroon, the Gambia. Now, whether you are in the largest group, do not, this is a marathon, and so we have seen very large contingents from specific countries, peter out and run out of steam very quickly. This because you need stamina and you need continued commitment and dedication to make it to the end of the exercise or to make it through the ideas engine process and so on. So if you are the sole representative from your country, say if you are the only person from Azerbaijan who is in this in the Peer Hub, well then, welcome. We honor your commitment and we'll invite you to work with people from other countries so that you do not go through the Peer Hub alone, and you will receive the support and solidarity of scholars from other countries and be able to compare your experience with theirs. Now, some key data points about the applicants. Again, almost perfect split between French and English, a little bit more English speakers. Age is not that interesting. We've got people from all the age groups. Gender is an area of particular concern to us, and you can see here that the Anglophones, around 30% women, which is better than the Francophones. And we want to bring attention to that, and we really want to welcome and encourage women who are immunization professionals to participate, who will participate in the Peer Hub. We want to make sure that you feel welcome and safe, and that you are able to work and speak and be heard with respect to your specific concerns, as we welcome people from all countries, all genders, and all profiles, as you're going to see next. Now, health pyramid and experience, you can see at the top, Ministry of Health subnational level and national level staff are the majority in the Peer Hub. And in a way, that's the way it should be, because the work of the expanded program on immunization that sets the goals for immunization for the country are owned by the country. So we welcome participants from the who work for the Ministry of Health. We also warmly welcome participants from NGOs, those who are students, consultants, WHO, and other UN country, regional, sub-regional staff, global health partners, and people from the headquarters of WHO. Second, you can see the split within the health pyramid between, in terms of where people work. So 20% from the national level. And national level, people who work at the central level are key to the entire enterprise. The plans, the strategies are developed at the central level, and then in the health facilities in the district, it's actually the work of figuring out how to execute on those plans. And of course, there's a lot of collaboration and coordination between all levels. And given this very healthy split here, we're hoping that that healthy coordination and collaboration can be alive in the Peer Hub as well. In terms of years of experience, we have a very experienced cohort. You can see that on the English, we have almost 1 in 8 that have more than 16 years of experience in immunization. What I'd like to ask those of you who are very seasoned and experienced is to make room for your colleagues who have who are fresh to the field of immunization. Take your time to listen and understand that they may not be up to speed on and may not know everything you know. And if you are new, take your time to think through and understand what is going on before you speak. Take the time to learn and understand from and connect with the more experienced folks. That's what we're hoping will happen in the Peer Hub. With outbreak response, again, you can see that there's tremendous amount of experience in outbreak response to a vaccine preventable and other disease epidemics. So we're a little bit behind the time. We're finally getting to the point after this, at the end of this presentation, where we'll be asking you to introduce yourselves. Today is going to be the exception. We're not going to have extensive amount of time for discussion. This is information that we believe you need to get a sense here of who is in the Peer Hub, and then some critical information about what the next steps are, what your schedule is, all of that information. So most of you are immunization staff trying to maintain vaccination services and prepare recovery, or other health professionals involved in the COVID response. There's also people from campaigns, immunization staff now working primarily on COVID-19 response. You can see there's a wide array of people who, so there's, again, a healthy mix. We hope that will make for a healthy mix. Are you involved in the COVID-19 response? Yes, for 72% of you. 14% no, but I'm likely to get involved soon. 11% my work is being affected by COVID. So that's pretty much consistent with what we were hoping to see. Now, many of you are spending 5, 6, or 7 days already working on activities related to COVID-19. So many of you are obviously working overtime. We are conscious of that, and we're going to make every effort we can to avoid wasting your time and taking your time on unnecessary tasks or anything that is frivolous or superfluous. We will eliminate to make sure that when you spend time on the Peer Hub, it is time well spent that is helping you with the critical challenges that you're facing. So here we have 1,273 amongst the applicants who say that their most critical challenge is caregivers who are reluctant to come to health facilities for immunization due to fear of infection. We have here just one piece of testimony that my colleague Mbuh, who prepared this deck, has pulled out, and that's about, this one applicant who said, our objective is to do everything possible to bring these children back to immunization services. So in the Peer Hub, that's going to be our objective. Your objective is our objective. Your individual objective, you'll be able to connect with other people who share the same purpose. And through the Peer Hub, it is about maintaining immunization services and preparing for the future, whatever may happen with the, whatever turn, wherever the pandemic may go. Continuing in a limited way, that's for 60% of immunization services that you continuing as usual is a third, which surprised me, but is consistent with what we've seen from other sources. And again, a piece of testimony to with the sharing some of the practical difficulties of what that entails. Vaccination campaign plans postponed or interrupted, 57%. So there may be some questions around that, but we've also heard, last week we heard testimonies of vaccination campaigns that have resumed, especially for local campaigns. So, and we're going to dig into the specifics of how, that is done during the pandemic. Again, a piece of testimony selected by Mbuh, I think from the Francophones, that was translated to English by your colleague Claude. And again, are you involved in planning or carrying out activities to vaccinate groups of persons who may have missed their vaccine? So this is catch up, and 2/3 of you are involved in planning or carrying out such activities. So that is going to be a very important concern and area of focus for the this is the wrong translation. So last July, many of you, 644 of you, joined what we call the Impact Accelerator, in which you worked on implementing a course project. And here you can see the results. We asked you what's happened to your implementation efforts. The idea was most of you said within 12 to 18 months, you would have implemented your project. And you can see here that while many of you some of you continue to work on your project as planned, most of you are finding it significantly more difficult, and a significant proportion have stopped working entirely on your project. So finally, we are at the 34-minute mark, so we're about 5 minutes behind, but we got to hear from some of the members of the Geneva Learning Foundation team. Let me just lower all hands, and this time call for volunteers. If you'd like to tell us why you joined the Peer Hub, what you expect to gain, and what is your employer asking you to do in the face of the pandemic, please raise your hand. So let me illustrate. Yes. So you should see a raised hand icon. Okay, Jafar Sani is the first one to have figured it out, and Aminu Anka Ogbonaya Kalu. All right. Jafar Sani, please go ahead. Please
Okay, good evening all. I am Jafar Sani from Zaria, Kaduna State, Nigeria. I joined the Peer Hub, Global Peer Hub, in order to learn more about COVID-19 and how to cope the entire disease in the world. And I'm expecting to gain a lot from the professionals globally. And our employer, the Ministry of Health of Kaduna State, under the leadership of His Excellency Malan Nasir El-Rufai, the governor of the state, is really working hard to see that he ends this COVID-19 in Kaduna State and Nigeria entirely. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Jafar Sani, for this intro. So what are you being asked to do? Can you tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing currently to help maintain immunization services?
Okay, though I am the head of department under the medical record department, that's Health Information Management Department. So all the data I report pertaining to immunization and NHMIS, I'm the one reporting them and overseeing the part of the activities in the facility.
Great, thank you, Jafar Sani. And so can we count on your support to fellow Nigerian scholars? Have you joined the Nigerian country group yet?
No. But
Not
I
yet.
will join soon. I will join soon.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Jafar Sani. Let's go to let's see. So let's go to Ogbonaya Kalu. And there's a few more people who have their microphones already unmuted. So please go ahead and unmute yourself if you see that your microphone is unmuted. You may need to, if you have problems, make sure you update your version of Zoom. All right. Yusuf Mohammed, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm from Somalia. I worked at WHO for a long time, 15 years. I just working for COVID-19 since the pandemic started from Somalia, and I would like to ask how I can help my country for removing this pandemic country. What type of support that I can get from scholarship team? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Yusuf. So the support will be to connect you with other participants from all, including those from Somalia, to be able to work together on what your Ministry of Health or your employer is asking you to do in the face of a pandemic. Can you tell us what is the work you're currently doing? What is your role and what you are being asked to do?
Yeah, now I am working with an rapid response team and community level or district level support. I'm at country level. I'm supporting all states in Somalia. I have trained all the RRTs in Somalia. Yes, now for the bean time starting, but before 1 month, I've started to work as a monitoring evaluation team. First, I have supported RRT teams, rapid response team, trained them, but now I'm working with the surveillance or and monitoring evaluation team to be known how the virus is going to the other areas. Yeah, I'm working with this team.
All right, thank you, Yusuf. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Zainab Mohammed. Zainab Mohammed, I've tried to unmute you. I'm not sure.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Dr. Zainab Mohammed Idris Gwaru. I'm a member of the Rapid Response, or let me say the Emergency Operations Response on COVID-19 for Kaduna State. I wanted to add to what Jafar Sani said earlier. We are doing a lot in terms of trying to ensure that immunization services are not suspended because of COVID-19. We have what is called an integrated service delivery approach, which is the strategy we're using. And what that means is that we go in as a team. It's sort of a cluster to ensure that communities where children under 5 need to receive their immunization get it. And it's a package of services that is being provided, not just nutrition, not just immunization. We include nutrition. We also include services for maternal health and even for adolescents. So for us, routine immunization continued, except for the challenges of getting our clients to go to these facilities. So that's where we have a challenge. But in terms of getting the vaccines across, we're doing that in an integrated approach. And this is the strategy we're using in Kaduna State. And by the way, Kaduna State has a population of about 9 million plus, which is the 3rd largest state in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you tell me why you've joined the Peer Hub and what do you expect to gain through your participation?
Yes, I think I find it as a platform where a lot of learning can happen, where experience sharing can also be, we can share experiences, what works well, what doesn't work well, and then maybe if there are challenges, how do people address those challenges? We want to learn from that, and we also want to share our own experiences from the field. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much indeed. All right, let's go to Promise Onaibe. Promise, welcome to you. Please tell us where you're connecting from, and then if you could answer the 3 questions that appear on your screen.
Okay, my name is Onaibe Promise. I'm calling from Delta State, Nigeria. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I've joined this pre-hub just to enable me to get more experience and know how to tackle every issue that have to do with COVID-19 and that is affecting immunization right now. And I hope to gain a lot from the global perspective, global experience from the COVID-19 issue and how to tackle what is happening right now in my state, Delta State, because Delta State is one of the highest confirmed case in COVID-19 right now in Nigeria here. And I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to be part of this. I will learn and I will implement a very nice project from this state. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Promise Onaibe. Can I ask you a question? So obviously, the Nigerian scholars are a very large group. I'm very pleased with that promise to see this many people, one of the world's largest groups, be joining us around immunization. Promise, can we count on your support for other scholars from, say, countries where there's 1 or 2, maybe 2 participants from the entire country?
Yes, I'm more available. I'm right here available.
All right, that's much appreciated, Promise, and that is indeed the spirit for the of the Peer Hub. All right, we're going to keep going now. I see many more, 26 hands raised. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm, and we hope again it's a marathon. So make sure you think about how you're going to sustain that enthusiasm and deploy the effort to go along with the enthusiasm. What are we going to be focusing on? It is, ask yourself, can you see, when you see this question, what's the main problem or challenge that you're currently facing in your immunization work? Do you have an answer that comes like that? If so, that's what you're going to work on and focus on in the Peer Hub. If not, you start thinking about it because there may be many problems that you face. And then try to be specific about the problem. So caregivers not coming, no longer coming, or coming less than they did before for vaccinations, or being afraid, or your colleagues being afraid. That's the kind of issue, that's one of the issues, or 2 of the issues that many of you identified as important that we'll be digging in through the exercise. So just keeping an eye on the time again, we're at minute 44. In the exercise will come after the ideas engine, but it's here first. So let's deal with that. And again, we're going to ask you to analyze the challenge or problem that you consider is really the key one that you face. And then we're going to give you detailed guidance, what we call the rubric, to help you develop a project. And that's going to be shared in a separate post on learning.foundation. Now, in order to knowing the problem is one thing, but then figuring out how you're going to tackle the problem is something else. And that is where the Ideas Engine comes in. The Ideas Engine is a place that you're going to be able to go to starting tomorrow. So not today. There you might find the article or the post that tells you about accessing the Ideas Engine. It's good to watch the tutorial today if you haven't already. That's on learning.foundation. But then it's really about starting tomorrow, going to this website. This is what it looks like, or that's the top of it looks like that. I wish we could see the challenges, but there's 7 challenges, and you'll be able to pick one of the challenges, the one closest to the one that's of concern to you, and then be able to actually describe something that you have done about one of the challenges, a practice, or an idea that you have to do something about one of the challenges. So to explain this briefly, given the time, I want to turn to Ian Steed, who led developed the Ideas Engine and led the pilot with over 300 scholars documenting more than, he's going to tell us the exact number of ideas and practices from the pilot. Ian?
Thank you, Rada, and a good afternoon and good evening to everyone. Well, we had the pilot. We had 300 people joined the Ideas Engine and shared 150 ideas and practices that they had. And what's the purpose of doing that? Well, if you look in the chat, you'll see that Dr. Fatima has just said, I would like to hear more from Dr. Zainab, who was just speaking, about what's happening in Kaduna State. Well, this is a live session. We're going to be together for an hour a week, and we can hear 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people each session. But imagine what would happen if we could get more time together. And that's what the Ideas Engine is trying to do. It's trying to help people to share their experiences in a structured way, to create a library or an exhibition together, where all of these practices, all of these ideas are in one place, where you can search them, you can find the most relevant ones that will help you best address the challenge that you have, and draw on them, be in contact with the people who've drafted on them, find out more about them, and take what you need into your work to address the challenge. So the emails will be, as Rada has mentioned, will be sent out tomorrow. And please look in your spam as well as your inbox box for these invitations. We'll tell you when they come out via the Telegram groups tomorrow. And then we'll take the instructions, the tutorials will take you through how you can share what it is you're doing or the ideas that you have with the rest of this community, and access and search the ideas of other people within the community to take out what you need. Thank you, Rada.
Great, thank you so much, Ian Steed. So you'll see what I'm showing here is when you go to learning.foundation. So that's really the key place to go to figure out what to do next in the Peer Hub. You will find this tutorial that really walks you through step by step what you need to do to get to the Ideas Engine and use it. So submit your initial idea or practice. It's not only some idea that you have, it's something preferably that you've already done or at least tried. And so this walks you through step by step how to do it. And tomorrow morning, so on Tuesday morning, you'll be receiving the invitation to join the Ideas Engine. And just one thing of note, if you are paying for bandwidth, so you have to pay for bundles or whatever, you can always, there's always a download video button on each of these pages. And the second thing that's important once you've discovered learning.foundation is once you are finished with a page like this, with a post, click on Mark as Complete. And that is how we will know that you've actually looked at this, that you've looked at the tutorial. Otherwise, you may get messages from Ja or Shalini in our team asking you, do you need help? Why, it looks like you're not making progress in learning.foundation. So make sure you click on Mark as Complete as you progress through and make sense of how the Ideas Engine actually works. So at the end of the day, what is this going to give you? You'll be able to quickly look up ideas and experiences from all over the world. Why is that important? Because when it comes time to actually doing the project, the action plan. Sorry, we've tried different terms for it, but we keep coming back to that. What actions are you going to carry out in order to execute on the plan or strategy from your Ministry of Health using the best available recommendations? So you're going to want to try new things. You can't just do the same old thing in the face of something this unprecedented. So you need to be looking for new ideas, new ways to do things that may be familiar to you. But if you just try the same old, it's not going to be productive. Second, you're going to be able to share what experiences and practices you have actually carried out that have helped you adapt and change for the in the context of a pandemic. And then third, if you find an experience, a practice, something that someone has done, could be halfway across the world, and you want to learn from them, well, through the Ideas Engine, you're going to be able to connect with them, and you will be connecting in many different ways at many different times during the Peer Hub activities. So I think that is it. The rest of what you'll find in the slide deck that's going to be posted on learning.foundation. So here, you're going to see the slide deck and the recording of this session are going to be posted here at the very bottom. You can see recordings of live sessions. Actually, sorry, I haven't been sharing the right screen. So yeah, so here in the COVID-19 Scholar Peer Hub on the Geneva Learning Foundation website, so learning.foundation, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, that is where you're going to find all of the recordings of the live sessions, including today's session. So if you need to catch up, you want to review something wasn't very clear, this is your opportunity to chime in. So that's it. The focus, let me go back to the schedule just to recap. And then with the time we have left, we're going to open up the microphones again. Let me just lower all the hands that are up. And again, this is not to prevent you from raising your hand again. If you'd like to speak, we should have time for 2 or 3 more people to respond to what's been presented today. You can see the schedule here. So, right. So this is Ideas Engine weeks 1 and 2. So this week and next week are really dedicated to the generation of ideas, the sharing of practices and experiences using the Ideas Engine. Then we go into a 4-week cycle in which you're going to really develop a project on what to describe to help you define what actions you're going to take in response to a challenge. And that will include analysis, and that's where you'll be working with Francois Gasse and Charlotte Mbuh. And we'll be inviting other partners, experts, subject matter experts, people with significant experience and expertise, country EPI leaders, country COVID-19 responders and leaders to help you through this process of figuring out how to strengthen what you're already doing, how to make it even better, and how to go faster. That will be the purpose of the 4-week sequence. At the end of the 4 weeks, by the 4th of September, if you stick it out, if you can run this marathon, you will have a plan, very concrete, very specific, that will be far stronger, we hope, than what you started out with, and will help you actually execute on what the Ministry of Health, your employer, or your boss are asking you to get done to adapt to the pandemic. So I see 7 hands raised. Let me see, and I would like to ask, let's try to hear from, we've heard several participants from the great country of Nigeria. I'd like to ask if you are from countries other than Nigeria, please raise your hand. That way, yeah, and I'd like to ask Sange Funcho to unmute. And so if you are from Nigeria, it's not that we don't want to hear from you, but please, let's leave some room for other countries. Sange Funcho, how are you? Can you tell us what you'd like to share? We have 6 minutes left. We'd like to hear 2 or 3 more voices, so I'm going to ask you to be concise.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I'm Sange Funcho, a program manager, EPI program manager from Bhutan. It's great opportunity that I get to meet with Reda and the team, expert team. I also had the opportunity to do the scholar course on CRIPS. Now I'm looking forward for several opportunities to learn, especially at this point of time, I'm tasked with so many things in order to ensure uninterrupted routine immunization services in the country. And also we are stepping up our efforts in not getting disturbed for the immunization services, particularly in terms of new vaccine introduction, such as we are planning to have HPV vaccination introduced for boys in Bhutan. We already have introduced HPV vaccination for girls since 2010. But this year we are targeting for introduction of HPV for boys. And also in context to COVID-19 pandemic in the country, we are planning for a nationwide and whole population influenza vaccination for all general population, which will be a massive task for the country. And since I am an EPA manager at the national central level, I'm looking forward for some supporting hands from all the experts who are present here, particularly when we draft our plan, like during week 1 and following weeks. So I have joined this, I particularly took interest in joining this group, looking for a lesson, a best practices from elsewhere, especially the countries who are performing quite well in terms of immunization, and also to share our lessons. We do have a couple of success stories in immunization from Bhutan. We are a very small, tiny country, but given the size of the country, we do have some challenges, but we have a lot of success stories where I would like to share to the forum as well. Thank you, and back to you.
Great, thank you so much, Sangye Funcho. That's definitely very much in line with the spirit of the Peer Hub, and we look forward to your contribution and to seeing that commitment to learn from others and to learn with others and to share your own experience. Anyone having trouble who hasn't been on Learning.Foundation yet, who is having trouble with Telegram or with anything else, tomorrow is the first day, but not the last, that you will be able to receive support, not only from Alain Blaise Tatsinku, who is leading this, but from many, many committed, dedicated scholars who have completed courses and programs before with us and who will be there to help you to make sure that you can make it through if you put in the time and effort. There's no shortcut, unfortunately. And so it's going to be every day at 11 a.m. Geneva time. If that's not convenient for you, the recordings will also be available. And again, these are not mandatory, but people who attend them are much more likely to finish the program than people who do not. With respect to the lightning sessions, this is with Francois, Gasse, and Charlotte Mbuh. Again, very hands-on support with respect to initially the ideas engine. So I imagine Ian Steed might be joining these sessions. And then after the ideas engine, when you're working on your project, actually getting hands-on how to take a good practice or idea and turn it into how to take a challenge, how to analyze it, and come up with good action steps that are more likely to make the difference. I'd like to finish. Let's try one more person. Let's go to Ahmed Nusrat. Ahmed Nusrat, the floor is yours if you'll unmute your microphone, and you will be our last speaker for today. All right, maybe it won't be Ahmed Nusrat. All right.
Hello, can you listen me?
Ahmed Nusrat, the floor is yours.
Hi, here is Ahmed Nusrat from Central Punjab, Pakistan. I am recently working at a district level in immunization, monitoring all types of methods. I just want to share one thing that what I want to learn in this global format. There are a lot of myths and rumors generated in this unusual time in our area. There are the people which are not already going to vaccinate their children. So in this COVID-19 session, they are again more resistant for the vaccination. So I just want to learn from this form that how can I tackle the rumors, how can I tackle the myths which are not only spread in the community, but the parents are much believing on that. So this thing I want to learn from all of my peers and scholars. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Ahmed Nusrat. And for those of you who, if you're still here, I'm going to share with you exactly where you can find the link to join your country group on Telegram and Skype. So it's number 2. It's the second item here, as you can see here. So you click here, join your country group on Telegram and Skype. And down here, you will see that there's a download. And this is the key document that contains the full list of Telegram and Skype groups. Skype, you'll discover how we're going to use it. Just make sure you get it, you have it installed. That's it to kick off the Peer Hub. This is the first inaugural meeting we'll have every Monday. Again, if you can't make it, you can always catch up. This is not like the course where we make these mandatory, but it's important that you be here if you can, and that you catch up if you can't, in order to keep up, to make sure you're up with you understand what we're doing next and how we're doing it. That's it for today. Thank you so much. We're going to do one last round of applause to kick off properly, as we would if we were in a room. Here is the applause. Get ready. 1, 2, and 3.
निकालेगा डॉगी आ जाएगा